All right.
That's being prayed over, by the way.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're being prayed. So anyways, we're back 13 degrees. It's 10:03 in the PM. 1/30/2012. We had a little technical difficulty with Brian Golightly. We got him back on the line. We'll bring him on here in a second. But guys, as I was going out outside, I was talking about how the house shook, and this is why Vicky, there, weird odors in the house right now, and Vicky mentioned, well, probably the devil or Satan is pissed off that we're talking to Brian Golightly. And
I didn't. You're twisting my words around.
Well,
no, I
say it.
What I'm trying to say is that the devil, he's very strong, and I don't. Okay, I don't want to share my opinions because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I have very, very, very strong opinions about this person. I'm sorry, Brian. I know you're on, and I know that I should compose myself in a professional manner, but this really irritates me. This really gets my soul, and it really it just gets me very upset. So I don't know if you really
Let's do this. I think that brings up a valid point. And if you've got a person that's declaring that he or she is God, then there has to be a reason behind it. And that.
Well, just because numerology is part of the devil, you know what I mean? And I know what you're going to argue.
But you're saying, he's not using numerology, Vicky. He's using math.
Oh, 88 miles from 55,000 miles and 1989, which, okay, come on now. Okay, what is that?
That's like taking, okay.
That's like saying that I don't know. I'm
just flashing on and off this.
Come on.
Vicky,
I can claim somebody. I can claim anything.
Well,
anybody can claim anything. And the end time, people are going to say that they're Jesus. And I'm sorry, Brian, but I do not believe that you are Jesus. And I will never believe that. And I've seen your videos, and I've seen your book, and I've seen your wife, and I don't like the feelings that I get when I see your guys' videos. I don't like the way you guys look. They scare me.
Also, it flashes when they talk.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Brian Golightly back to 32 Degrees of Insanity. Those are a lot of valid points there. Brian, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm quite stunned. But anyhow, that's her opinion. That's the opinion of the masses. That's fine. Little children have to get older and they'll grow up and mature once they reach a certain level of wisdom. She just hasn't made it yet, that's all.
Well,
okay.
Well,
really? I really. See, oh man.
Well, you're the firecracker, Vicky.
I am the firecracker.
Give it your best shot.
Exactly. Give it. Vicky. Brian.
Question I got from Jeff. Okay.
Okay.
Have you had a DNA test? That was a question from Celine and Jeff.
What was that?
Have you had a DNA test?
Oh yes. My DNA is quite unusual. The Garvan Institute in Australia, when I first came back to Australia in 1996, they wanted to test my blood. And when I came back, the chromosomes were unusual, is what they said. And it's 3, 4, and 13. That number in the Greek concordance is Michael the Archangel.
That's not who Michael is.
Michael the Archangel is the angel of Jesus, and Gabriel is the angel of God. Now, all that does, as we all have two angels, what that does is shows us that Gabriel is with the Creator, as the Creator was in the beginning, and Michael is the angel that was with Jesus, and that's why it was Michael that appeared to John on the island of Patmos.
Okay, well, you're talking about that. Okay.
What was
you're
that?
talking about angels. I have a question for you. And, if you were Jesus, Joshua, where...
Yeah, I know who I am, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so what's my angel's name? Because I personally know what my angel's name is.
How do you know that? Now,
I'm not revealing how I know that.
Okay.
You tell me what my angel's name is, and I'll tell you if you're correct or not. My mom can call in, and she can confirm that. My brother can confirm that. They can call in.
You're talking to the devil, you silly lady. Goodness
And
me.
that's why you don't know. And that's why you don't know. Come on.
Of course, I have no idea what your angel's name is. Why would I? Look, there's 7 billion people on the
Hold
earth.
it, stop. Well, slow down.
I would spend 3,000 years trying to say everyone's angelic name, which I don't know, and I don't care. I'm talking about who I am to prove to the fooled masses who I am. That's all I'm worried about. People say to me, why don't you do the lotto numbers? And I did. I won the lotto when I was in Rhodesia, which gave me enough money to tour Rhodesia for a year. Right? I'm not after money.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not after money.
I mean, I could do big.
Vicky, just be quiet.
You know what? I just let you guys talk.
Vicky, you're wasting your time here.
Vicky, you're not debating, you're yelling at Brian.
Vicky, the angels are divided, if you like. Now, Michael is the angel over all of the righteous, and he's the angel over chaos as well. It is Michael the archangel, which was the angel of Jesus. He is over all those who belong to Jesus. Now, yes, you do have an angel, and whether you know its name, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is we have come down through the ages. Man has been on the earth approximately 6,000 years, and that's as long as it takes to get to the end of the age where we are now, where everything is culminating in the judgment that was set down at the foundation of the world. We are living out a play, if you like. Now, all of the ones at the cross who believed at the cross and also who rejected at the cross, everybody's back on the earth. That's why, as Jesus, he said that that generation, the judgment would come upon them, this generation, because that generation would be raised up through the reincarnation of the soul. That's what resurrection is. And if you go and look in your Bible and read the conversation that Jesus had with Martha over the resurrecting of, the raising of Lazarus from the dead, Martha understood. She goes, well, you know, I know that he's going to raise in the last day, he'll raise in the resurrection in the last day. She was knowing that we were talking about this time now at the end of the age. So everybody is back on the earth, born after Yahweh, which is January 11th, 1944, and we've been born into the time period which is called the resurrection. And it is all about the judgment of the souls, because we've all lived before. So that's why he's back as the father and not as the young man. He came once as the young man, he was the soul of the father then. But he always said, I'll be back at the end of the age. But it would be the old man, the father, turning up for the judgment. Now, things are actually twice as bad now as they were in the time of Enoch as far as evil on the earth. That is because evil reincarnates as well. You're given up to 7 times. The soul is given up to 7 times to get it right. And that was the conversation that he had with Nicodemus that night. Now, what you have in your Bible, and why he had to come down as Jesus in the first place and say, Father, forgive them. He was talking to himself. They don't know what they're doing. You don't know what you're doing because you are reading things that have been manipulated, and the whole world has been trapped by books that have been manipulated and by leaving out information, and the whole world focusing on what did Jesus say rather than what he did. He didn't tell anybody to write anything. As a matter of fact, if you go back early and read some of the things that the fallen angels taught mankind, one of them was actual writing. Man was supposed to communicate with words and thought being connected to the mind of God. Writing takes all of that away, and I'm sure you've experienced it yourself. When you write things out, things tend to come to pass. That is because all around you, and we are in Sheol, we are in hell. This is what the earth has been turned into. So God comes down second time to get everybody out, and it's just truth that sets mankind free. That's why he said the truth will set you free. Free from what? Free from all of the religions that have got it wrong. Now, he was talking to his disciples, and he says, don't go looking for me in the desert, don't go looking for me in the secret place. And okay, and many will come, many have already come way before him, and already deceived the false prophets of the popes, the false prophets in the churches. the ones that call themselves Jesus, but we've got a dude over here called AJ Miller, so going around telling him, and people believe him. Well, he has no evidence. Where is his evidence? And it was never, ever the young dude, 33-year-old hunk, coming back. It was always the father. And that's why he left his DNA, he left his soul imprint, he left his photograph in the Shroud of Turin. That is the world's first Polaroid, and it is the image of the old man. And that is proved, not because I'm telling you, not because it is Brian, you've just got to look at it and then look at him and go, that's him, not even have to superimpose it, you know it. And I can tell you as his wife, that is his body. Actually, we were just having a conversation about it. His breasts wear high, and his breasts, his nipples. Everybody's been crapping on about nipplegate and all kinds of pictures exposed over the internet as he, hot up here he goes without a shirt. Well, his breast muscles even sit high because on the cross, that's the way they were wrenched as he was hanging there, and the nails went through the wrists. And he was in a state of rigor mortis by the time to the tomb, and his breast muscles remain high and fixed. If you look at the Shroud of Turin and just see how high they sit, well, that's how they are today. And he can walk around today and he can actually flick them independently. It was something, in his much younger body in this life, which was the hunky muscular that is in the Shroud of Turin. It was something that used to amaze people because, kind of a joke that he used to do is he would flick his muscles. So all of these evidences have been left behind in the Shroud of Turin, in the creation, because knowing that mankind would be completely deceived through the books that have been written and through the manipulations and everybody's agenda and all this kind of thing, and focusing on all the words that Jesus said rather than getting out and actually doing the work. It's all about what he did, not what the words that he spoke. So that by the time he gets back, you're just a classic example, and understandably so, because you have been educated by people who are very sincere, but they are wrong. That's it in a nutshell. There are so many influences out there, so many voices, and when you're going into psychic mediums and all kinds of things, then you have to be extremely careful because we're in hell. So, it doesn't matter if Hill of Beans what your angel's name is. It is a matter of recognizing the truth, and that's what he's here again, to tell everybody the truth. That's what sent him to the cross, for God's sake. So, 68 years later, it's still happening. He's still being nailed to the cross, and people are offended because you have to become like a small child and lay down what you think you know. Here's something that I found very interesting as well. I was doing a little bit of research, and I had seen this ABC newscast about, I just want to play this real quick for everybody.